We often imagine depression as something obvious. Tears, darkness, someone curled up in bed, unable to move. But the truth is, some of the most dangerous forms of depression are the ones that stay hidden, quietly shaping our thoughts, stealing our energy, and making everyday life feel hollow, without ever making a dramatic entrance. There are people all around us who seem perfectly fine, smiling, working, texting back, cracking jokes, and yet inside, they're silently drowning, wondering why they feel so empty while everyone else seems to be moving forward. This isn't just about the textbook symptoms you already know. It's about the quiet signals, the subtle behaviors, the small things that most of us miss, even in ourselves. And sometimes, just recognizing them can be the very first step toward healing. One of the most overlooked forms of depression hides behind a perfectly crafted mask. These are the people who get up every morning, go to work, smile in meetings, meet deadlines, and keep up appearances. But under the surface, they're barely holding it together. Their smiles are practiced. Their energy is borrowed. Every task takes twice the effort it should, but they keep pushing, because stopping feels like falling apart. This kind of depression doesn't scream for help. It whispers in quiet moments, in the spaces between obligations. It's the kind that says, "I'm fine," when they're anything but. And because they appear so capable, no one thinks to ask them how they're really doing. Depression isn't always sadness. In fact, it often wears a face of irritability, snappiness, and unexplained anger. It's a short temper at small things, the restlessness, the clenched jaw, the feeling that something is wrong, even if you can't quite name it. Sometimes this is how depression defends itself. Instead of shutting down, it lashes out. It's not because someone is heartless or aggressive. It's because emotional pain has nowhere else to go. In men, especially, this anger is often mistaken for personality rather than a symptom of something deeper. If someone you love seems to always be on edge, maybe don't judge them too quickly. Maybe ask what's really going on beneath the surface. What's often forgotten is that depression isn't just about feeling sad. It's about not feeling much of anything at all. It's when the things that once brought joy now feel dull. Music doesn't move you. Your favorite hobbies feel like chores. Even laughter feels muted. Life becomes a grayscale version of what it used to be. And you don't always cry. You just feel a constant emotional numbness that's hard to explain. It's not about mood swings. It's a slow erosion of passion, a quiet fading of color from your world. And over time, it can start to feel normal, which is why it's so dangerous. Sometimes, your body knows what your mind won't admit. Depression doesn't just live in thoughts. It lives in the body too. Constant fatigue, mysterious aches, headaches that never quite go away, stomach issues with no clear cause. These can all be signs of something deeper. When your brain is overwhelmed, your body becomes a messenger. And yet, we often go from doctor to doctor looking for physical explanations, when what we really need is to pause and ask, how am I really feeling inside? The body speaks, but only if we're willing to listen. Sometimes, depression doesn't mean locking yourself away. It can mean showing up, but feeling completely disconnected. You're in the room, you're part of conversation, but inside, it's like you're somewhere else. Or maybe you start avoiding texts, skipping calls, canceling plans. Not because you don't care, but because everything feels too much. You want connection, but the weight of showing up feels impossible. And that guilt builds, making you isolate even more. It's a cycle that slowly closes in, and unless someone notices, you can slip through the cracks without anyone ever realizing. Hidden depression often sounds like a voice in your head, quiet but relentless. It makes you doubt every move, second-guess every conversation, and feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. It tells you you're a burden, that you're not good enough, that everyone else has it together except you. It's not dramatic. It's subtle, constant, and exhausting. And because it's your own mind telling you these things, it's easy to believe them. But that voice is not the truth. It's the echo of pain that hasn't found its way out yet. Some people with depression become perfectionists, not because they love order, but because they're terrified of failing. They push themselves to do more, be better, please everyone, because deep down, they feel unworthy. If they just do enough, maybe they'll feel okay. But they never do. The inner critic doesn't rest. It whispers after every success, that wasn't good enough. It punishes every mistake. And over time, the person disappears beneath the pressure they place on themselves, until all that's left is performance. You sleep, but wake up tired. You rest, but never feel recharged. That's not laziness. That's not bad time management. That could be depression. Because depression isn't just emotional, it's neurological. It changes the way your brain processes information, stores memory, even how it regulates energy. So when you feel tired all the time, and you don't know why, you're not weak. You're likely overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and in need of compassion, not judgment. For some people, life isn't lived, it's endured. They wake up, go through the motions, complete tasks, check boxes, but they're not truly present. It's like they're watching their life happen from the outside. They smile in photos, say the right things, play their roles, but it's just survival mode. If you feel like you're always getting through the day instead of living it, maybe it's time to stop and ask what your heart is trying to say. One of the saddest parts of hidden depression is the slow loss of self, the hobbies you dropped, the friends you don't call anymore, the music you don't play. It happens so gradually that you don't notice until one day you look in the mirror and realize you don't recognize who you become. That disconnection isn't failure. It's a sign that you've been hurting for longer than you've admitted, and that somewhere inside, your true self is still waiting, still hoping to come back to life. If anything here feels familiar, if you see yourself in these words, it's not too late. You are not broken. You are not beyond help. There is still light, even if you can't see it right now. Start by talking to someone, anyone, a friend, a counselor, a hotline, a stranger who listens. Let your pain be heard, and be gentle with yourself. You don't have to heal overnight. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to take one small step, and then another. You are worth saving. And if you've seen these signs in someone else, someone who seems fine but somehow feels distant, tired, not quite there, please don't look away. Check in. Ask twice. Be patient. Sometimes all it takes is knowing someone cares to start the journey back. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to show up and let them know they're not invisible. Depression hides well, but we can learn to see it in ourselves, in the people we love. And the more we talk about it, the real version of it, the less power it has to isolate us. Awareness is the beginning of healing, and healing begins the moment we feel less alone.